Oh, thank you. Thank you. Next poet on the list is Chris Gillis.
This is a poem I wrote. It's called Two Fathers Math. And it's about my father who died 2 years ago and my father-in-law who recently passed off. Two fathers, two families, two urns, 2 years. Two scholars, two politics, two urns, two John names. Ah, the seduction of two, right and left, up and down, good and bad, here, over there. But urns they'll crack, ashes they'll spill, and dust will fall into these two wrinkled, these two soggy, these two creaky, and I will join the two, which will add up to one blade of grass growing from the dust.
Thank you, Chris. Next poet on the list is the Right Art Out Platoon Sergeant, aka Mandicore.
New shit.
New shit.
And a world full of raggedy bitches making this country miserable as hell. So much outrageous shit continues to gain notoriety. Never in the history of the planet Earth have I ever seen too many dumbass women, including the Kardashians, getting all the fucking exposure every year, along with black women beefing and gossiping about one another. Thank God I didn't watch that shit at home. Only to rely on the realest ones I grew up on, such as my humorous souls, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Rugrats, Tales from the Crypt, and others that made me who I am today. Social media controversy is at an all-time high. And not only for the fact that school bullying gets millions of views leading to victims committing suicide. There are two examples found by my YouTube hero and NFL game highlight commentator, Chisel Adonis. OnlyFans harlots twerking and displaying their body parts for likes is bullshit beyond belief. A woman using Gorilla Glue for her hair problem on TikTok? Stupid! That's stupid! Use your common sense! What part of the game is this? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Why? Why? After a lonely 15 years waiting, a butterscotch snap on Halloween 2022, and a birthday bottle of Stella Rosa by Aida Felicitas Rodriguez Ferreira, aka Cuppy Cake, an autistic woman's wine in 2023. I finally had enough of this bullshit from everywhere. If you don't understand what I mean, all of you damn harlots, listen up. Unlike all of you out there, she doesn't go on social media for crap that you do. She spends her days at home, a culinary enthusiast, gamer, and cares for two loving souls. Also on the spectrum. Not only she spits the powerful words of war with me on the poetry spots around the Lone Star State of Texas. She always keeps me happy and understands my doubts, unlike many who bully others to get their way. If any of you Jezebels are hoping for me to be yours, I'm already taken by a woman who knows me for who the hell I am. She is my poetry body, and I am her client. She is sick of me being treated like a piece of shit. Be aware of what she turned me into. The motherfucker.
That was Corey bringing the noise. It was a lot. I counted $6. I don't know about y'all, but like, thank you, Corey. All right. That might be a record. It might be a record on this microphone. Next up on the list, poet that was mentioned in that poem. Give it up for Cupcake.
So I decided, because I know Eddie's birthday's coming up, that I wanted to read the first piece that I ever wrote that was kind of inspired about how he's a taco poet, and give the idea and initiative that sometimes we can make people hungry with our words. So it's called Piñata Heart. Dad said my heart is a piñata. He also says I have a hotel heart, un corazón de hotel, always room for many para que entren muchos, and there are always rooms regardless if it's full. I can't help it, I love to love, but I tend to live breaking my piñata heart. I used to swear I'd never ever fall in love again. I swore I would never become my mother's. I'd be smarter with my heart, but here we are. Sometimes 3 relationships at a time. And I love so intensely. I love so intensely, like I love my barbacoa on Sundays with some menudo on the side, with some extra hominy and cebolla and cilantro. I don't love you like a crispy taco whose shell was too soggy to keep it all in, no. But like a double tortilla de maíz on a taco de pastor with pineapple juices from the taquero and his trompo that I've been simmering all day long. I don't give half-ass vibes. And if I'm mad, you'll feel it. I'll be mad like that chile de árbol on the nopalitos con costillas de res I fed you yesterday. You know, the one you kept saying was good while sweating bullets and continuing to eat. The one that even the coca kept making spicier in your mouth if you drank some. Yes, that one. And when I'm warm, you'll feel my love. With a caldito de pollo I spent all afternoon making in this 100-degree Texas weather, so I can remind you of the love your mom gave you. And if we last, and your birthday comes around, I'll spend hours making you my family mole recipe. You know, the one with lots of chocolate, chile ancho, and the beating of my molcajete, because God knows the blender is a secondary character in my house. My mole sauce delivers the beatings of pasión I gave for you to understand my love, because I don't just like you, I love you, but also with pasión enough to kill us both one day with the brujeria needed for you to never leave me. My dad said it's called agua de calzón. I call it loving you with tacos, sopes, gorditas, tostadas, and tamales. If I stop letting people rest here, it's like asking them to take the crispy taco from that Mexican restaurant with the pop music blaring and cold seats and queso on their menu. My love doesn't rain, it pours, and it burns slowly, like the spicy chilaquiles I make you with café de olla so you'll sober up. I learned this from my mother, using as much serranos to wake up Dad for church on Sundays for misa. My piñata heart isn't for the weak, it's paper mache, but it's that good from back home from Nuevo Laredo, made for the piñatas that last us, all the kids in my barrio and their turns and their hits with the palo. And the candy that was flattered in the floor has delicious regular sized candy chocolate, huge lollipops, all mixed up with the nice Mexican candy too, like tamarindos, mazapanes, picapresas, and lucas. So I'll keep this piñata heart, the one my dad calls a hotel, because again, I don't give half-ass vibes. Besides, it lets me sleep better at night knowing someone won't be out there eating American cheese on a rolled tortilla, calling it an enchilada.
All right. I don't know if I'm more in love or just hungrier, or both, but love is like that sometimes, right? Anyway, was that in the workshop? I don't remember.
That was something I read in Puro, hoping you would be there, and you got there.
Oh, that's restaurants. I know I heard it before.
You and Anthony got there, and I was like, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
You made it. You made it. So I had a poetry workshop that was on food poetry. We read poems about food or with food as a form. So like, you know, like a recipe poem, you know, a recipe of yourself. And then like a poem about the recipe. So, you know, a little bit of everything. And I thought it would all be happy. And it turned out food is also very triggering to people. So I wasn't always happy. But anyway, most of it was happy. Great poetry came out of there. And appreciate that one. Next poet on the list, trying to top that, is a Macondista. Give it up for Violeta.
¿Qué pasó, San Antonio? Can we give a round of applause to Eddie Vega for hosting, and also it's his birthday coming up, right? Can we give a round of applause? If you want us to, we can sing you happy birthday later, but that would be a no. Okay, I respect that. I respect that.
Count as your poem.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. This is one that I really hope that I get to perform in front of Macondo people again. This is a new shit.
New shit.
Yeah, it's from the Eclipse, so that should tell you something. I'm going to read the epigraph first, and then the title, and then I'm going to go into it. The epigraph is this. That is well said, replied Candide, but we must cultivate our garden. Voltaire, Candide. And the poem, the title of the poem is, When they say they'll be there for me, pero son puras mentiras. Me dicen que soy la number one, a priority, y me la sigo creyendo. Whether it's family or a symmetrical face with elongated words, I keep forgetting that I drop everything to take care of them. But they don't do the same for me. ¿Y para qué? So I can get the title of long-suffering pendeja? Or clueless Sancha? No, hombre. Me decían que me iban a cuidar. Me iban a mimar. Que esto y que el otro. Y pues no. Sometimes I'm so embarrassed that I kept believing their pattern would evolve. I'm gonna keep reminding myself though that I look for light in people. And yes, I gotta make some different choices, pero also, my love is so big. No saben qué hacer conmigo. Ay, ya casi se me olvida the family chisme. Mi tía is turning 80. Her children made plans for her birthday, but she's ditching their boring dinner in favor of las maquinitas en Las Vegas. Vegas, from Texas, ¿tú crees? That right there. Nada de sacrificios, just puro self-amor. They're out there saying they're gonna be there for me. Sí, como no. Se me ocurre though, that maybe I don't want them to be there for me. If it means that in 6 months they're gonna resent me. Mejor así. May they live, thrive, sift through their own promises. I'ma do me. I want to say I'm always gonna be there for me, pero no manches, I can't predict the future. But just for today, I don't want him calling me. I don't want him texting me or slipping into my DMs. It's time for a pilgrimage to me. I buckle in the passenger seat, my kale salad from H-E-B, my book, Unfuck Your Boundaries, which I already read, but apparently I need a refresher, and a bunch of samples of BioFreeze, because my shoulder, oof, it's acting up again. And when I see a bridge on the road, I'ma roll down my windows, stick out my long frizzy hair, and shout along to my playlist de Señora Traicionada. Lots of Juan Gabriel, Ana Gabriel, and that one song by Amanda Miguel. Órale. My self-care, it's already here. middle fingers, volume, and self-connection all the way up. Thank you.
Right. That one had a record for middle fingers.
All right.
Next up on the list, we have another poet who I think might be new, but we shall see, or maybe someone we don't recognize. They haven't been here in a while. Give it up for Luis Escalante. All the way from the back. You gotta clap all the way until they make it up to the mic. Gotta clap all the way. All right, Luis.
Hi, everyone. All right. This is my poem. I'll just go straight into it. I want to stretch out on the boulder, open to the skies, and welcome the great condor, hawk, and buzzard to feast on my belly, my eyes, my body, to eat the rotten parts of me. Place corn in my carcass, and I'll sprout anew. I can't recall the hour or night, but it was the night, dear child, when a star tremor watched me from that touch star, from that which you left me weeping, with only the mystery breaking from the grain of wheat, breaking the heart, the lights that lights up the ear, that wind did sun embrace and had been known. Now, because you crackle star, because in my blood you pound, I'll know when the pulse of my star, with what stars love the heavens till, nourishing my wound and waterfall, losing oil and honey, and singing like you, who sings in my tear. You intoxicate me with your fire star, a mystery that drowns with thunder. With your scent, tremble the auroras, the winds braid with your aroma. I see scented, an ember warnings in the shadows wall, burning fire in my shout of light. I can't remember the day or night, but it was a night, my child, that the sweet stink of your pus, burning fragrance from the gold of your light.
Woo!
Thank you, Luis, for that poem. Next up on the list, we have somebody who I don't think has ever read here before. No, I think they read here before one time. All right. And then, if I said they haven't, then I messed up, and I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure they have. So give it up for Cloud Carbonara. Did you hear one? Yeah, that counts.
Okay, so I'm going to read from this zine that I just published with Info Release a Review. We do like publications. Order yours today. So it's all about Day of the Dead and honoring people that have passed. So I'm going to read one about someone I was very close to at Texas State and who passed away in 2020. It's called Sky. It is not until an out-of-state friend says, "The sky is so big here," that I remember how big the sky can be. I think of the cowboy I met in Terlingua. When a friend asked why he moved there, he pointed upwards and said this. I think of the San Marcos sunsets above the HEB parking lot, orange and red, spread against blue-gray toast. I think of those spring break afternoons in March's throat, visiting Sterling and Dallas, the sun's glow on my eyelids while I laid on my back and thought of you. Oh, that week in Dallas. I scrambled eggs in Sterling's apartment while she was in class about childhood development. In the evenings, Sterling and I watched gay men pole dance with angel wings on. Our mornings spent in the well-watered campus grass while I read her copy of A Little Life. Every moment, every memory was as big as this skate, where hours away, you were falling back in love with your ex. Oh, this week in my memory is the smell of Replica's Jazz Club, red and pink streamers in the Thai restaurant, short-haired and red-scarfed at the lesbian bar, your text, I love you like milkweed loves summer. 2 Aprils after this one, your mother read your poem about incineration at your Zoom memorial. I cannot be mad at you anymore. When I was a child, I thought the second coming of Jesus would include a reel of every second of my life projected on the sky for all my family to see. The thought used to keep me up. Now I would do anything to watch these Dallas afternoons like a movie against a Texas sunset. I don't care anymore. Show all my footage on a cloud. There is no time for shame anymore. Thank you.
Cloud. In 2009, 2010, Cloud was actually in my class in Carnarvon High School. But it was not a poetry class, because that poem was way better than whatever I could have taught. So, there you go. Next up on the list, not sure if they're here. Oh, give it up for Carmen Calatayud.
I am so excited to be here for Jo Reyes-Boitel and her book, The Matchstick Litanies. If you don't have a copy, I really hope you get a copy tonight. Anyway, this is called, well, it's a poem about somebody who has moved around a lot in her life and is finally figuring out how to get grounded. Passport to the body's country. I talk with dying dandelions after prayer to fly away from my dislocated story. Let them offer white heads of wisdom before the breath of wind comes. I dance with milkweed at night and hold the more of me when I can. Negotiate decades of melancholy, years without sisters. Recognize I stripped myself of cities to find the right season. Carried love in caskets at each stop and still no revelation. Brain cells blazed by jumps and falls into the next place. Devoured my body by the search for ground that could be mine. Final destination, my bone marrow. I have the broth I need. These days, I write my way into the light. Let go of lost maps. Remember, I have earned a seat at the table of home.
Okay, we had 2 more poets, and then maybe a short break, and then a feature. That's what we'll do. All right. So next poet on the list is Marla. Marla, come on.
Trying to make sure the battery doesn't die.
Otherwise, you got to memorize the poem.
Yeah, this is also.
This is a fairly short one, but you know, yeah, it is short shit, like me. I do want to say something about where this came from, though, because a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks ago, I happened to hear a poet read for the first time, and she performed some of what I would say is the bravest poetry I've ever heard performed in a public space.
and she happens to be here tonight. Her name's Cuppy Cake. So, thank you. And I wanted to say that after hearing you read, I took some of that with me, and I went home and I wrote this kind of in response. So, it is a love poem to all the narcissists who tried to carve out a space for themselves in my life. So, I can only admire survivors who call out abusers, release their names into words so they can excise them from souls. Sometimes we need to do that, but this is different. I chose to never speak your name, give you voice, a chance to stake your claim because you thrive on drama, attention. Too many words build a prison. All yours. Let the raging tongues flap. I no longer hear you. My silence murders you. You do not murder me. My silence is my dignity, my grace, in a sense, my forgiveness, but never my forgetting. Every day, my silence kills you. Again, again, again.
Thank you, Marla. All right. I want to acknowledge that it is like I invited some friends because like my birthday's coming up, and they came through. So shout out to my college friends that are here. I just want to acknowledge y'all. Been riding or dying since '94. So anyway, next on the list, I'm not totally sure what's gonna happen, but it's the cutest poet on the list. Give it up for Adrian.
You guys know I don't write a lot, but when I do, my muse is often my husband. So I do this poem once a year in honor of his birthday. I realized within the first 30 minutes of our first date that he was different. Not only was he smart, but he was very clever and funny. I think I started to fall in love with him around hour 4 of that first date. He was sitting across from me at local coffee. It was the third stop on our date. And there was something about his voice. It was soothing. He made me feel calm. His eyes were very sad, but they were very kind. And then there was his smile. When he smiled with his whole face. And that smile made me feel warm, like the sun was shining just on me. That smile started to melt my cold, cynical, divorced heart. That first date lasted 9 hours. Neither of us wanted it to end. We kept coming up with more things to do. We kept talking. We talked about everything and nothing. Our kids, our sisters, work, books, movies, our mutual friends. We never ran out of things to talk about. And that was about 4 years ago, and we still haven't run out of things to talk about. So, Eddie, thank you for filling the cracks in my heart. Thank you for loving me the way that you do. Thank you for all the things you do for our family. I cannot wait to celebrate 40 or 50 more birthdays with you. I love you.
All right, how do I follow that? I don't know what to say. That was pretty amazing. In case you're wondering, it was a Sunday. That's how you can get like 9 hours out of a date. Anyhow, and we eventually went and saw a movie too. So yeah, that took like 3 hours. 2.5. All right. Anyway, no, there's nobody that's on our list. So I think we need to take a little break because we've had like 11 poems, and we're gonna take a short break and then bring up our feature, Jo Reyes-Boitel. So during this break, go ahead and get a drink, go to the bathroom, order some food. I don't see enough people with chips and queso. This is the most amazing chips and pork queso that they have anywhere in San Antonio. And I've had. Can I do a haiku? I was actually trying to stall right now by just like talking, but I don't, because I don't have my phone for the haiku. If I can have an assistant, thank you very much. Big Ben squad, everybody. All right. So yeah, I've been asked to do some haiku, so we have to bring up the haiku file. In 2018, I came in second in the National Haiku Championship at the National Poetry Slam. And the reason why I didn't win first is because I ran out of stuff. So then I started writing, and now I have like 70 haiku. So anyway, that would never happen again. These are all new. These are very good. All right, let's see. And then they're like not very. They're all like serious. Just read one, right? Oh, here. This one's about aging. Old is feeling hungover without having drunk anything. This one comes from like being married and now watching a lot of reality TV that I never used to write. On my Love Island, love ain't blind. I see it right in front of me. Aww. I can no longer carry our burdens. She threw away my cargo shorts. Let's see. My kids forget I changed their diapers, so I don't get credit for shit. No, okay. All right. No, that one's too inappropriate. Bring some tortillas. I've got carne asada. Let's talk about it.
All right. So we're gonna sing Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eddie. Happy birthday to you.
All right, my wish is that everybody gets cake. All right. We're gonna cut it into real small pieces. So it's carrot cake. So if you're allergic to carrots, because there's real carrots in it, I'm sure, right? You all, yeah, just say no. Or if you're allergic to good flavor, just say no. Right? And yeah, we're gonna take a little break. Go get yourself chips queso, get yourself another drink, get some cake, and we'll be right back with our feature, Jo Reyes-Boitel. Okay, everybody, we're back with Mouth Dakota Poetry Project, open mic. In case you're wondering, the Cowboys are down 28-23 against the Eagles with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left. So prayers for the Cowboys. All right, because it is Sunday after all. That is a Sunday obligation. Let me read this bio. Jo Reyes-Boitel is a poet and playwright, queer mixed Latinx amateur hand percussionist and parent. Nearly completing their MFA in creative writing at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, they serve as a presidential fellow and teach undergraduate creative writing. Jo is a fellow of Macondo and Voices of Our Nations. Their hybrid opera, She Wears Bells, was chosen in the 2022 Guerrilla Opera Virtual Festival finalists. Previous publications include Michael and Josephine, a novel in verse from Flower Song Press, and the chapbook Mouth from Neon Hemlock. There's a repeated line. Yeah. For more information about Jo and their work, visit joreyesboitel.com. I just have to tell you that Jo is an old poet friend of mine. Jo actually edited my first collection of poetry, so I got to give props for that. And for all the help and all the chisme sessions over the years. So So give it up for Jo Reyes-Boitel.
Let's go!
Oh, okay. Sounds good. No, you don't. That's not. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Let's see. I already told Cupcake I'm gonna start crying, then she has to come up and save the day after we finish reading it. Okay. So, I'll grab them. Thank you. I don't remember all of what we talked about in our cheeseman sessions, but we have several photos where we're both like this. We should get another one before the night is out, just yours. Okay. So it's one poem, right? No, I'm just kidding. No drama for one vibe. Anyway, I'll make it the longest ass poem ever. I don't know what I'm reading, and I'm gonna just give you trigger warning. La cosa entera está llena de mierda, right? So let's just be clear. Like, this is a lot. But here I am, queer as fuck, happy as fuck, reading poetry in front of you, and so some of the stuff that made me what I am right now is from in here. This started, I wrote a couple of pieces about family. How do you not write about family, good or bad? It's gonna come out. But I didn't know where I was going with it. And in a lot of cases, it was really easy to say, oh, here's the bad people in my family, here's the good people in my family. And then I realized I couldn't do that anymore when somewhere around December 26th at 2 a.m., the police were banging on our door to wake my mother and I up. I was visiting for holidays because the house next door was on fire and our house was starting to smoke up. And so, of course, you're like, all this shit I worried about, not worth a whole lot. And all the people that I made bad in my head were stories I heard from others instead of really questioning. So poetry will do that to you. So will a fire next door. It will remind you to look deeply and look fully at the people around you and at yourself, right? So I'll start with the fire. The house next door is in flames, the one. My body opens like a starfish, thick-skinned. Oh my God, I wrote my glasses. Okay, I'm 52, so it's gonna be an issue. I'm just telling you now. Thick-skinned, fevered nodes, naked, humid, terrible night. Pounding, pounding across the sky, fireworks in every color, just shy of New Year's Eve. 2 a.m., warmth builds up in the living room. Windows lit like stained glass at midday, orange and yellow, creamy, through pale curtains and blinds. Just before my mother's tender voice calls me from the open bedroom door, just before someone bangs on the kitchen door again and again, the house shaking, and before that a deep sleep, muscles soft draped shoulders, head cradled in pillows, before the too lit window diffused in orange, before crackling wood, the splintering, jostling my dreaming mind, sharp notes across the sky, almost green in its darkness, green to umber to dark blue black, from the sky to the branches, winter bare and fruitless pecan trees, then the thing itself, orange and pink and specks of blue, the frame of a house, inhaling, the walls ballooning, then exhaling, stiffening toward coal. And as I was standing there with this, they told us to stand back away from the flames and all. As I was standing there, I remembered a moment 20 or more years before where my brother pulled a weapon and shot at my father. So it was this strange, you're asleep, you're not totally there, someone is talking to you, they're telling you to move. I didn't have shoes on, it's cold, and yeah. So it ended up bringing a whole lot of other memories back. But I wanna try for some humor in some of this. Almost, we can try this. I'm a pretty funny person. I mean, in public, and I've had half of my old fashioned, which is already hitting me, I feel it. So, here's something. Since we're talking about cooking and food, this is going to give you some asco, so just get ready. My brother has taken to hunting. Here he's about 12. He enjoys the quiet wait, his back against a tree trunk, his eyes searching the leaves above for movement. A bird hops along a branch. My brother's hand cocks the BB gun. He pulls the barrel to his eye and fires. He rarely misses, but this particular blue jay is brisk, his wings a shock against the bristle of the pecan tree's canopy. I watch him, thankful he's occupied, thankful the bird has escaped. I call out to him, real hunters don't shoot and leave their dead. They kill to provide, to feed themselves. Here I'm 15 and I know everything. His face sours, and we have 2 days without shooting. In those 2 days, he's a menace. His feet near trampling me, his voice an echo of mine. He pushes his body into my room, and I scream at him at this circumstance. This is summer vacation, and we are ruthless animals. The blue jay is the first to escape after 4 deaths, a robin among them. Each paraded through the house after their song alerting him, and he showed me each one. Their feathers still soft, save for the small charcoal hole in the chest. I'm surprised there's so little blood, just the dark circle hollow and its own darkness. Look what I got, I shot it, each time he boasts, followed by quiet. I'm resting in a cabin overlooking the Blanco River, again, shallow after days of rain. The bird calls out in the mornings. Turkey vultures circle, the herons with their clicks along the water's edge. At dusk, there are families of deer, too, cautiously nearing. I consider the possibility of bloodshed if my brother were here. It's hard to reconcile the hunter and the destroyer within him, from the inconsolable little boy, desperate to be good at something. My father was an occasional hunter. I remember the deer, back legs tied between 2 twin pecan trees. Palm trees are McAllen, sorry. Body hanging, the terrible arch of its hind legs, its throat fragile, loose, the bloodletting and the bucket to collect it. I remember the smell of every dead thing we've come across. Perfumed, moldy fruit skin, musky and just rained on dirt. My brother now thinks of himself as a predator, lays out a frying pan, spatula, seasoning mix and oil, feathers on the graying bird plucked, her small chest open. There's the sizzle. It's days before I can look him in the face. Only then does my mom remind him birds can have disease, worms. I hope this one does. Until Mexico's losing in the football games. I have to be funny between because they're just so terrible before, right? They're intense, sorry. Let me find something good. Wait, here's one you'll like. Hibiscus. Mama rented a duplex in southern Florida with high, narrow windows, only on the south wall. I couldn't see anything through them save a pale blue sky, skittered clouds, and red-orange hibiscus flowers. She packed us up to move away from the husband and was helped by a man who once worked the radio for incoming single-engine airplanes heavy with cocaine, their bellies bumping across the low sky. We didn't have much, even if the boyfriend gave some. All he bought with funneled money was in somebody else's name. Good thing that plant gave a new flower every day, then rested each evening. Lanky pine trees in the distance swayed in the bleaching heat. My brother grew into a bull shark. I helped with a new job while learning the fundamentals in art class. The quick schedule I made, bus, school, bus, home, work, home, to occupy my time wasn't enough. On days I didn't work, I would put on my bathing suit and sit in the yard with a radio hoping for a tan. Since I was from Texas, neighbors asked me what I'd done with my horse. They were stupid. It was commonplace for alligators to run loose in the neighborhood. The grass clutched sand desperately. I spent my time color-coding girl wallets at the department store and ate pudding during work breaks. Those hibiscus flowers weighed us down, unwilling to open by the time August hit. On Saturday nights, the boyfriend came over. We go for a drive along Tamiami Trail in West Flagler. My brother and me in the back, watching the clouds through the moonroof. My mother's so far away. The boyfriend talks about moving to Puerto Rico, but eventually we return to my father. Phone hang-ups trail us for a few months. The boyfriend hoping for my mother's voice. There's a dessert Cubans make out of bitter orange. You have to boil the skin over and over again because it really is terrible, like sour. And it's used for marinades, like meat marinades. But I made her one, and this is the center of that. Bitter oranges. This is what has made her mad, she realizes. That she took the role she never really wanted. That it weighed so much more than the loads of freedom. Losing freedom is worse than never having it, maybe. I shouldn't have had kids, she says, not looking in my direction. Her hair. She says she has horse's hair, and we laugh because horses always look super soft. More like skunk or goat. Thick, bristly, but shiny. It moves as one, like an animal reaching in and out as fingers pass through. Usually soap and skin dewy, fresh from the shower. The scent lingered on her skin for hours. Or sweating onions on her hands, or the cold, wet smell of meat. And sometimes a distant cigarette. Hers, yes, but also like an unfortunate walk through smoke. She always smoked outside, stepping away from the path of her own exhales. A dance of avoidance, enthralled to the trajectory of wind, the power of her own lungs. We, my brother and I, are side conversations to whatever my parents had promised themselves. There was nothing to carry that did not arrive, taped up, stapled, bruised, or tied together, even us. And I just suffered through. She says to me, "You are so nice. I give advice and you listen, but you don't take any of it. You'll do what you want, I guess." Black beans, Chanel No. 5, swallowed consonants, painted walls, kids and smooth calves, broken windshields. Minnesota was an outlier. Cuba made myth. Homestead sometimes. Miami when she feels free. Florida in one way or another always. Central Texas, an endurance like bitter oranges. Dulce de naranja ria. Skins peeled away, hands sticky with their oil, each segment membrane spooned out. Rinds cut into quarter moons, boiled over and over in fresh water. They become ghosts of themselves, then doused in sugar and boiled down once more. A sweet made from impossible tartness. I don't speak much when I was young. My mother's friends tell her I'm quiet, and I'm a good girl. It's the middle of the night, a school night. My father is yelling, my brother has run away again. My mother takes me with her as we drive around looking. "Why can't he be like you?" she says. "You never give me any trouble." I'm gonna read a few about my brother because I kind of like them. Oh wait, let me do this one and I'll do one on my brother and I'll close out. This is for my mom also. Starless. The 16-year-old who would become my mother had, within 2 years, left Cuba as part of a mass exodus to Miami, where her mother died of an aneurysm, where she then moved with my grandfather to St. Paul, where at 18 she returned to night school to finish her GED. She bumped into then married my father, only 23, and just returned from the Vietnam War, with a GI Bill that paid for his certificate in auto body repair. Her dating prospects in southern Florida before the move were the Argentine doctor who would be gone for weeks to visit his mother, the neighborhood butcher and his offers of extra chops and oxtail, the furniture salesman whose family owned what would become a chain of high-end furniture stores in South Florida called El Dorado, and the printmaker turned narcotraficante who flew in drugs from South America through the Florida swamplands. To this day, my mother will say, if only I'd known a little more English then, I wouldn't have ended up with that man. The snow, endless, releases memory as it obscures the wild landscape. This place, impossible to believe, it's tethered to faraway rows of palms through this girl. This snow, milky, wistful. Cold is a dangerous thing. It will swallow any remaining fight found in the willful girl. She only sees what she wants. The body tired from anticipating moon-shadowed life, starless drifting. She understands the heated rush, appreciates the admiration, the touch, baby, toward a kind of life. She didn't know what kind of man she wanted until she knew this was not the kind she wanted. Something slow is ideal because this life, this life has burned through her so much already. Believe me, she says, matter-of-factly, when it comes to love, it's easier to go with what can be known. That, or find a way to wipe yourself clean of all of it. I want to do one more word. Okay, this is for my brother. My brother, the pragmatist. My brother folds his shirts neat, stacks them in the back seat, every button of every shirt lined up, one atop the other. His shoes are practical, take him from roofing work to nighttime gatherings around the fire pit with friends. My brother asks my mother to hold his money. She doesn't offer interest, and holding comes with a lecture, but he trusts her more than banks. My brother rents apartments in our parents' names, knowing they will take care of the yellowed kitchen walls and small fire damage in the bathtub. My brother works on his car most afternoons and decides to remove the gas tank. Since he won't have gas money this week, he may as well keep up his skills. My brother is looking for a new car. He likes to drive with the windows down. His revoked license and stolen plates an incentive to take advantage of the day. I only read this quote because my brother knows that we've joked about it. My brother welcomes another child. He refuses condoms. He doesn't want to remove his girlfriend's right to choose. My brother is in love with his girlfriend. My brother is in love with his girlfriend. If they break up for a day or two, he finds another girl because they are momentarily out of love. It is what it is, he says. My brother is the pretty one. He always was. Thank you all.